So I grew up in Spain and I was a child of a teenage pregnancy. Luckily, I had both of my parents growing up, but it wasn't always good. I remember I used to be such a daddy's girl. I would always be with my dad, and it was really, it was like a very loving family, but I remember at the age of 4 or maybe 3, I started seeing domestic violence at home. It all started because my father, he was really young and he didn't really prioritize his family. So he would go out with friends, go out on a Friday, come back on a Sunday morning, Monday morning, and my mom didn't really take that nicely. So she would be so jealous. She will basically start arguing with him, telling him that he was worth nothing. And all these arguments led to violence. So I started seeing my parents physically fighting. And I remember there was even a time where my mom took a machete and she actually sliced his arm. And me seeing all of this violence just made me think, why is my dad causing all of this? Because I saw him as the main problem, basically. And I just thought, if you're a man, you're meant to protect us, not hurt us. Years went by and things only got worse because of the lifestyle that my dad was living. He got really, really ill. And because of this, he developed a disease and he had to go through surgery. And I remember there was even a time where he almost passed away. And I was actually happy because I thought if he's gone, then that must mean that everything will be fine because it will be me and my mom and that's it. But as I said, he wasn't able to work anymore because of the disability that he now had. And my mom had to be the one, basically the breadwinner of the house. She would go to work for long hours. By the time she would come back, I would be sleeping. By the time that she went, I was asleep as well. So my dad was just at home. He got really depressed because of his health. And now the anger that he used towards my mom, he was using towards me. So he would beat me, he would tell me horrible things. And at the time, I was about maybe 7 or 8 years old. And I was like, why is he doing this to me? But as I said, the anger that I previously had now grew even more. And I just couldn't stand him at all. And years went by again. And my mom decided to come to the UK for a better future. At the time, I wasn't really happy because I thought, you know, I don't like my dad and you're gonna leave me behind living with him alone. So she went, and for that year that she wasn't home, it was so bad, so bad. I remember I was maybe like 12, 13 years old. At school, I was brilliant. I was the A-star student. Then I got to secondary school and I started to see that grades wasn't everything, but fame and being the popular girl and everything. So my older cousin, she was very popular and I just wanted to be like her. I wanted to dress like her. I wanted to just basically be her. And she introduced me to going out, speaking to guys and all of these things. And I thought, actually, I really like this because the more time I spend outside, the less time I will be with my father. So a year went by and my mom said, okay, why don't you come to visit me? So me and my father came to the UK, for holiday for a week. And I actually really enjoyed it because when my mom left me, I said, you want me to go to a brand new country where I literally know no one, I don't know the language, and start all over again. And actually when I came to the UK, it was actually quite nice. So I said, oh, maybe this is the new beginning that I've been looking for. So when I came back from holiday, my auntie, my dad's sister, my dad received a call from my auntie, and she said that my grandma was quite sick. So one Saturday, I received a phone call from my dad saying, your grandma has passed away. I think in this moment, I can't even explain what I felt. I felt sad. I felt just this overwhelming feeling. Cutting the long story short, my dad went back home, Dominican Republic, to bury her, and I stayed with my auntie in Spain. And as I said, I started going downhill. I started to have suicidal thoughts all the time. I was so sad. I said, it's better for me to go with her. So I remember 1 month after she died, I took a knife and I was about to cut my wrist. But then I said, no, this is too painful. I can't do it. A few weeks after, my dad came back, and then he said, okay, I'm going to send you to your mom back in the UK, sorry. So I was like, okay, you know, many things are going wrong for me, but actually, if I go to the UK, it's a brand new beginning, a new start, so why not? So I came to the UK, and now this is really when I realized I don't know what else to do. My life is finished. So I came to the church, and as I said, I didn't understand anything because I didn't speak English at the time. But it was a nice environment. Then I got invited to the youth group. But now, because of all the complexes and insecurities that I had about the way that I looked, the way that my hair was, I didn't want to come back. Not because I didn't like it, but because I thought that people would judge me. I thought they will judge my accent, they will judge the way that I speak, the way that I dress, and because of this, I stopped coming for a while. About 4 months later, I got invited to a night vigil, a New Year's Eve night vigil, and I went. And then I started hearing testimonies of people that used their faith and their life changed. And I realized, actually, if my life is so bad and I have no way out of it, why don't I just give God a try? And the reason why I didn't want to give God a try was because I used to go to many churches back home, and it was just the same thing all over again. But when I came to this church and this youth group, I realized that God was actually real because I was seeing people's life changing. So I said, I'm going to give my all. I'm going to give up everything, all the things that I'm feeling, all the things that I'm going through, and I'm just going to give it to God and give it a try. So I started using my faith and coming more frequently to the youth group, taking on board what they were saying and putting it into practice, and I started seeing the changes. So as I said, the suicidal thoughts were gone, the complexes were little by little leaving, the anger that I had towards my dad, which was the hardest thing to give up, because to be honest, when someone hurts you, you think you have a right to keep a grudge against them, to make them feel the pain that you felt when they hurt you. But the truth is that you're just hurting yourself, because my dad was living his life, and little did he know that I hated him so much. So I forgave my dad, which was really, really hard, but very beneficial, because at the end, my parents got together again, and they actually got married. So my life today is completely different. I don't have complexes anymore. I don't look down on myself. I have a good relationship with my dad. After a long time, he decided to come to the UK. Now him and my mom have been married for like maybe 3 years. I know what to do with my life now. I've decided what I wanted to do, whereas before I was very confused. I didn't really know what I wanted, but now I do, and life is just moving forward for me. So if you're watching this, I want to tell you that there is hope for you. No matter what you're going through or what you've been through, what matters is what you have inside of you. And when you believe in yourself, you're capable of doing great things. So give the youth group a try. Probably you've heard so many people saying so many different things, negative things, positive things, but the truth is that you have to come for yourself and see it for yourself. So yes, that's it.